Well, hello guys. This is the Betamax man. We're going to do an unboxing of this machine. We're also going to go ahead and take a look at it tonight. This is a Friday night. Now, I work as a custodian at a school. I've been a janitor for many, many years. Anyway. But I moved to Salem recently and got back into being a janitor. I was working at a motel after I quit as a janitor, and I got another janitor job. But anyway, to make a long story short, I work Monday through Friday. So some people do have Saturday and Sunday off, and I'm one of those people. I'm lucky to have the weekends off. So this is Friday night, and this is the, let's see what the date is. Okay, well actually now it's Saturday because it's 2:23 in the morning, 2:24 in the morning. October 30th. Saturday, October 30th, 2:24 in the morning. So we're going to do an unboxing video. This is a NEC E40 or 40EU. I don't know the exact model number, but we'll open it up. The great thing about doing these videos is that I can show different machines. Let's just, hopefully it's got paper. So I hope it was protected. No, it was not protected that well, but I don't know, I think it was, now, I've actually have another NEC. I have a Super Beta Hi-Fi NEC VCR coming. I've actually got, so I have one already, and I've got another one. So, but that one will come later. But it was a Super Beta. It was the only Super Beta that NEC had, the E65EU, which was a Super Beta. But not only Super Beta, it recorded in the Beta 1S. So it was the first and only NEC to have the Beta 1S recording. And playback, of course. But this one I actually bought just for parts. If it has the same capstan as the Beta Hi-Fi, then I will be repairing the Beta Hi-Fi. If not, if the part is different, then we will get this one up and going. Now, this one was sold as a untested unit. This has been on eBay for quite some time. This has probably been on eBay for at least, I would say, at least a year. I'm not kidding. I've been watching this for a long time, and I never really cared that much about getting it because it was a mono machine. And but you know what? I figured, you know what? I got that Beta Hi-Fi, the NEC Beta Hi-Fi, and I need a capstan motor for it. And I'm thinking, maybe, just maybe, this one might have the same capstan motor. Now, if it does, we're going to get that hi-fi machine working. If it doesn't, we're going to fix this one. So it just depends on, because I would rather have a hi-fi stereo machine than I would a mono. Now, mono is okay, but the quality, the sound quality coming from a mono is terrible when you are used to watching movies, when you're used to watching videotapes that are recorded in hi-fi. It's just the hi-fi stereo is much better. This is one of the first oh, how interesting. The door is now stuck. I pushed on the door. Oh, there it goes. It needs oil. This thing's probably been sitting still for who knows how long. But there she is. She's got a mechanical tuner. Now, it looks to be a little bit different. When I'm taking a peek inside here, looks like it's a little different. However, the capstan motor might be the same, and that's what I'm hoping. See, that door keeps sticking. I'm hoping it's got the same capstan motor. Depending on what's wrong with this one, I don't know. We might get this one working just for the sake of showing you how to get it working. Not really sure if it even works. Most likely does not, because these things, the NEC, they use belts. They use belts for their... They're very similar to a VHS system on how, as far as the mechanism on how they work. They're very similar to like a VHS system. Now, NEC used a lot of Sony parts, and they used some of the Sony's design. Sony's 711B chassis, which was one of the most widely used chassis that Sony ever made. They used very similar way of operation too, so it's kind of a mixture between Sony Beta and a VHS system. But the NEC Betas have just as good a quality as the Sonys. Now, how do I know that the NEC's Betas have the same quality as the Sony Betas? Well, for one thing, I'm not called the Betamax man for nothing, okay? Because I know just about everything there is to know about Beta machines. Also, they use Sony heads. That's right. The Sony video head, the drum, the whole video head and drum is made by Sony. So they do have very good quality picture. So a lot of people are like, well, the knockoff beta machines, the beta machines that were made by other companies such as Toshiba and Sanyo, they didn't have the same quality necessarily as a Sony. So when somebody was buying a beta machine, usually they bought a Sony because they knew they were the inventors of the format and they knew the quality was going to be good. Now, NEC makes very good quality beta machines as well. And yes, they use belts, you know, to do the certain loading procedures, but anyway, so let's digress. I'm going to clean this and sanitize it because of COVID. Now I've got my Lysol here that we're going to use to sanitize this machine, and then we are going to take a look at this thing and see what it does, and we'll see. The only way that I'll be able to tell if the capstan motor is the same is by looking at the top and how it's mounted, and looking at the bottom to see the circuit board and see what connectors are on it, because they have to have the same connection. The connections have to be the same. Okay, so here we go. We've got it plugged in. We got the top off. Now, I have not tested this, so I don't know what's going to happen. Now, when I first powered it on, I could hear the loading belt moving, and I had to push the cassette carriage back in order to get this thing to go to its home position. I think that's why the door was sticking, is because the cassette basket was somewhat in just a little bit, and so when the power was applied, it was trying to reset itself back to the home position for the cassette cartridge. So now this has got a unique design. You've got your motor with a worm gear that touches a little gear which threads your tape around the drum. Now this has had some insects that crawled up in here. There was a spider, or what was left of a spider. It was a black colored spider. It was a little one, and it had red on it, and so it's probably a poisonous spider, I don't know. But this thing came from Chicago, Illinois, so coming from Chicago, I have no idea what type of insects they have, or, you know, as far as like, are there poisonous ones. But it was just a piece of a spider sitting right here, and I just kind of took something to grab it and pulled it out, put it in the trash. So let's see what this thing will do. I'm going to be amazed if this thing works. Oh man, this one might have the same issue. It might have a capstan that's failed as well. This one's probably got a Hall effect device that's failed. So I'm hoping the capstan is good on this thing. I hope the capstan is good. And now the Hall effect device is a very common problem with the Sonys and NECs. Okay, let's fast forward. Probably won't play due to the fact that it's got, the drum is dirty. The drum needs cleaned. So we'll clean the drum, but we can't even get fast forward. So it's probably just a dirty heads. That's making the dirty head drum. Sorry, dirty head drum. The head drum is dirty, and it's probably causing the tape to not be able to move. I don't know. I hope this doesn't have the same problem that the other one has. What did I just say? So we'll clean the drum, but we'll see if it's got the same capstan motor, and we'll see what can be done, because I'm feeling the capstan, and it feels like it's moving freely. So if the Hall effect device is not working, it will not play. So, and it could be that the Hall effect device has failed, or the switches and the contacts and the switches need to be cleaned too, probably. I'm surprised that it even loads. He's having trouble. It's not turning at all. I think that maybe the Hall effect device might be the culprit, because we have rewind. But no forward. Anyway, so we take a look, and the tape's not moving when we hit play, so no, the tape's not moving. So it's probably got a problem with the Hall effect device, I'm sure. No, the tape's not moving. Now that could be... I hope the capstan works, because if the capstan is not working, or if the Hall effect's not working, that can cause... That's what causes that symptom. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Hall effect device, actually. Belts are starting to slip. It's having some trouble threading. Starting to slip. So we got another one to investigate. But if the capstan motor is the same, I'm gonna swap it out. I'll take it out of here, put it in the Beta Hi-Fi so we can get the Beta Hi-Fi working. But we might take a look, take a peek. But let's. I can clean the. We'll clean the drum. Clean the drum. Also, I can try a different tape after cleaning the drum. I'll clean the drum, and I'll clean the heads, and clean all the guides and stuff. But for starters, I'll just clean the drum and the heads, and see if we can get the tape to move, because the tape's not moving. The capstan does control the speed of the tape. So, but I think that the tape is severely sticking to the drum, and that's causing it not to be able to move forward. So, anyway, at least we know it powers up, so we'll probably get this one fixed, so to show you guys how to repair things like this. And to show you, because Sony's have this same issue, so Sony's will have problems with this as well, and that's due to the Hall effect device, which is basically the motor for the idler. If the motor for the idler is not working, the capstan won't work either. I'm finding out sometimes. So, or sometimes the capstan's working, but the take-up reel's not turning. And so I'm just hoping that the capstan motor hasn't failed on this one too. Gosh, that would really suck to have that happen. So let's just clean the drum, and I'll try a different tape and see what we can do. Because I bought this specifically for the capstan motor, and typically it's just strange that they both have the same issues. Well, we got it to play a tape, not playing very well, so let's adjust the tracking, and we'll just see. Let's adjust the tracking here. Alright, so we got an issue with the drum servo. Now, this is obviously a different day that I've been messing with this thing, but as you can see, I've got it to play back, and what I've done was basically let the machine warm up, and it's warmed up, and now it's starting to play. The capstan motor was not working at all when I first looked at this machine. And now the capstan motor is working, and it is now playing now that I let it warm up. I just let it sit plugged in for about 30 minutes. And then I put a tape in, and it played. So this is definitely a classic symptom of capacitors that went bad. I believe that the capacitors on the capstan motor have starting to fail. This is the dummy tape that I made. So basically I took the tape out of it and I've cut the plastic away so that I can put a tape in and not chew up tapes. So basically the Hall effect device was working. Not at first. At first it wasn't working at all. And then I was able to get the machine to at least thread the tape back into its shell. But when I was playing it with a dummy tape, the reels were turning, but the capstan was not. Now, if there's a tape loaded and it would play for a few seconds and shut off, so I knew it was capstan motor related, because when you put the dummy tape in, the reels were turning, but because the capstan wasn't turning, now because there's no tape, it's not going to shut itself down. You see, there's an automatic shutdown when it detects that the tape is not moving. It just shuts down. But putting a dummy tape in is going to allow you to see whether or not is the Hall effect device, which is the idler motor, does the idler system work? Yes, it does. Okay, is the capstan working? No, it's not. Okay. But letting it warm up, the capstan started to work. And as this machine gets warmed up even more, as you can see, that it is not having trouble that it was having. Anyway, Saturday, what we'll do is we'll take this thing apart and we'll repair it. So that's the story on this. That's the progress so far, and I'm pretty much already diagnosed what the issue is, and we'll do a repair on that later on. So this weekend will be a good time for me to repair this thing and get this thing up and going. I think for now we'll go ahead and eject this here. See that belt slipping? That belt is slipping, so I need to change that out as well. So I'm gonna order a belt kit for this thing, and because they have the NEC, there's a few sellers right now that are selling belt kits for this. So I'm gonna get a belt kit for this and get everything working good. And I used to have some of the smaller belts, but I don't anymore. So anyway, we'll work on this this weekend.